delighting in this strange sensation that was totally new to her. And when Tom finally drew away, she was quite breathless with surprise and longing. "Oh, Tom," she croaked, attempting to tamp down her sudden desire. "I just wish there were a way to hasten my father's hand. I love him so much, but I do wish he'd understand that there'll never be anyone else for me but you. So we might as well marry now, and then we can, well, know what it is to love as man and wife." I know." Tom took her in his arms again. "I want nothing more. 'Tis like a fire inside me. But on our wedding night, when 'tis right and proper, even if it means we have to wait a while." Rebecca gazed at him, her feelings all topsy-turvy. "But we can meet again like this," she pleaded. "I'll have to think about it," Tom answered hesitantly. "And you must go now, afore you're missed." "Yes," she reluctantly agreed. "You're so good to me, Tom. I don't know what I'd do without you." "You'd be tucked up safe in your bed, just where you should be." But then he smiled softly. "But I'm glad you're not." "Now don't you two be dallying along the way," Anne Westbrook ordered, wagging her head at her daughters as they tied on their bonnets. "And no going near the cooperage." Sarah tossed her bright curls and winked cheekily at her elder sister, knowing that their mother couldn't see her face. "No, Mother, we won't," she said solemnly, but her eyes were alive with mischief. "I didn't mean you so much, young miss, as well you know." Anne pushed her elbows forward as she placed her hands squarely on her hips. "'Tis that headstrong sister of yours I meant. So did you hear me, Becky?" Colour tingled in Rebecca's fine-featured face. "Yes, Mother," she agreed, but her voice wavered with a whispering sigh. "Come on, Sarah." And before another word could be uttered, they danced out through the front door, the hems of their full summer skirts flouncing about their ankles as they went. Isaac Westbrook glanced up from the parlour table. "Annie," he called through the half-open door. "Yes, my dear?" "Do you really think 'tis wise letting those two young imps out alone?" Isaac questioned, his bushy grey eyebrows reaching up to his receding hairline. But Anne answered cajolingly, "Oh, Isaac, you can't expect them to stay indoors all the time, especially not on such a lovely day as this. And they're only going to Miss Martin's shop. They're really quite safe. No one will harm them. Everyone knows they're the daughters of the harbour master and chief assaying officer, the most important man in Morwellham." "Not everyone, Annie." Her husband frowned at her. "The place is always full of strangers, you know that. There's 9 ships in today and only 5 of them regulars for the mines. I bet you there's more than one sailor out there who'd like to get his hands on our Rebecca. Sarah's little more than a child, but, well, it may have escaped your notice, but Rebecca is a very beautiful young woman." He scratched his full, thick beard whimsically. "Just like her mother." Anne's soft laugh tinkled about her like summer rain. "You're an old flatterer, Isaac Westbrook, and you're not as observant as you think. Sarah's no longer a child either, you know. She's more comely, shall we say, than Rebecca, and there's many a girl of 17 that's married with a family on the way. Not always in the happiest of circumstances, which is precisely why I don't like the idea of our daughters going out without a chaperone. Oh, come now, they'll come to no harm." "Then why did you instruct them to keep away from the cooperage?" Anne blinked her warm blue eyes. "Because I know 'twould be your wish, although I really don't see what you have against young Tom. A qualified artisan and as respectable a lad as you could ask for, and Rebecca loves him." Isaac puffed out his cheeks. "Thinks she does. She's grown up with him, working not 3 doors away. She's never even looked at anyone else." He let out his breath in a long, ponderous stream. "'Tis not that I've anything against Tom, but his apprenticeship were over less than a year ago. He's not yet on a full cooper's wage, and he's having to support his mother and the little ones since the father were killed. You can't blame him for that." "You know I don't." Isaac shook his head sadly. "Terrible things, mining accidents. But how can he support Rebecca as well? No, I shall bide by my decision. If they still feel the same way about each other when she comes of age, and he can give her a decent home, rent one of the Bedford cottages, for instance, then they'll have my permission."